Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back with me, Vicena, and we are continuing our English lesson. And what we are going to talk today is about one of the language skill, which is listening. The listening that we are going to talk here is about listening news. News is just like something that we can find everywhere, right? And by listening a news, so we will enrich our knowledge and also enrich our vocabulary. Maybe we need to learn more why news become a good resources or a good way to learn English. Here is the reason. The first, the news is never ending resources. So you can find news everywhere. For example, like on the television, on the radio, on the newspaper, on the internet, through YouTube, for example. So there will be a lot of news that you can find. And the second one, journalists are required to write or speak in a standardized way. So means that when you learn from the news, the language will be the language which is standard, English standard. Even though the news come from, let's see, for example, like Al Jazeera. Al Jazeera is just like very big news provider in the world. But if you see the English, so the English will be standardized English standard. So it's not like belongs to this dialect or this grammar. No, but it's gonna be English, right? The third one, news is spoken in standardized dialect. Yeah. So standardized way and then standardized dialect. And the fourth one, anchor and journalists tend to enunciate clearly, which is ideal for both beginners and intermediate students. So everything will be clear, the language will be clear. So it's just like very nice in terms of the pronunciation, in terms of the language, the language, the word that will be chosen on the language is gonna be like the nice one, the good one to learn. And then the news enrich your mind culturally, because by listening a news, so you will learn many things, not only the language but also the culture of where the news come from or what the news about. And the last one, the news is easily accessible, so you can access anywhere and then every time you want. At the moment, I think internet is just like one of our basic needs. So you need not to pay additional or more in order to get news. So those are the reason why news is become like very good resources in order to learn English. I hope you agree with this one. Next, what should we do in order to learn English from the news? So, I put here, listen and learn English. So, while listening the news, then we learn also the language. The first, get the resources that you love. Before you decide to learn from any resources, any news that you want in order to learn English, the first you have to decide first what kind of news that you like. If you like sport, then find the news about sport. If you like business, then find news about business. So it will help you. So you will be loved. So by choosing the right news, so it will create something which is interesting for you and you will not miss any part of the news. If you like health, then you can choose the news about health. Yeah. And the second one, take a good position. When you listen to news, the position is going to be very important for you. So find out a place which is nice, sitting nice also, and then you can focus on the news. So don't listen news in a crowded area, for example. It will distract your concentration, so you will not be able to listen the news well. Then prepare your notebook. So you have to, if you want to learn English from the news, then you have to take your pen, your pencil, and then your notebook, or you can use your gadget as well. It's gonna be no problem. And then you need to be focused. Why you need to be focused? Because if you don't focus, even though that's your language, for example like Indonesian, it's gonna be the same. So you have to be on your high focus. You have to be focused. When you focus, then you will be able to absorb with your maximum capacity of the English language. And then not important thing or keyword. So there will be some keywords or some words which is very important on that news. So you can record, you can find out the meaning in your language, and then at the end of that, so you can share what actually the news about. So we call it like retell the news. So at the end of this session, this English session, I hope after you listen the news, you will be able to retell the news, what the news about. So for the people that you tell about the news, even though they don't directly listen the news, but they will understand or they will know what actually happened on the area. It's depend on the news that you deliver to someone else, right? So that's it, what you have to in order to learn English from news. Let's see some example of the resources that you can do. Let's see, for example, from YouTube, like BBC News, and then Al Jazeera, BBC Learning English, NBC News, and etc. So actually there are a lot of channels that provide news. Let's see one example from BBC Learning English. Let's open YouTube here, and then we see BBC Learning English. So you can see the channel here. So let's open. So there will be a lot of video here. So you can choose one of them in order to learn English. Let's see, for example, the short one, like this one. I'm deaf, but I probably speak more language.
I'm deaf, but I probably speak more languages than you do. Just because I'm deaf doesn't mean I'm tone deaf. I speak to my parents in Arabic, and sometimes I speak to my brother in sign language. I'm in the choir and I'm the only deaf person.
So this is a kind of learning English channel. So in this one,
speaking to me. Why is Logan speaking to me? Please don't shout, it hurts. Don't put on silly voices. Hello! If I take it off, I can't hear you. If I put it on, I can hear you. I have a magnet in my head, which is why my coil sticks to my head. And this is shocked when I say that. I have a magnet in my head.
So it's easier, right? Yeah. So when you learn from the resources, the right resources, so it's gonna be nice to learn English. One of the recommendation that I can recommend to you is BBC Learning English. So this is from BBC, which is very popular in the world for the news, and then this is special for learning English. So you can see the news from this channel, right? Okay, I hope you get the point. And then one task for you, I want you to open the BBC Learning English, and after that please find out one news from this channel. After you get the news, then you retell what actually the news informed to you, or what actually the news tells to you, right? Thank you very much for your watching.